Killer, the thermal cap strap is disconnected from the D-ring attached to the stowage ring and pulled taut.
Copy, and you have 6 Sharpie lines visible on the tail.
3, 1, 2. Sharpie lines.
And Roger, I think you said you see 6 Sharpie lines.
Confirm, 6 Sharpie lines.
Copy that. We're ready for you to egress the airlock when you're ready.
That's good. Thermal cover coming open.
And just like that, you're seeing a live view of the hatch thermal cover swinging open. Ground IV Stephanie Wilson gave our spacewalkers today the go to egress. Once the spacewalkers are fully egressed or outside of the crew lock.
The SCU pouch is trapped somewhere. Mine or yours? Yes, I have it.
Once they've egressed, their next steps are to grab their tool bags, close the hatch thermal cover, and turn their HECAs on and perform a series of buddy checks.
Hey, I'm out. I'm just getting the tethers sorted out here. I'll start laying down anchor hooks.
Copy.
Rajachari is the first one out the door today. You'll see that it's Rajachari as EV1, as he has the spacesuit with the red stripes.
Roger, we have a camera on you, and we can see that you may have the camera bag egressing out with you. Just wanted to check that's what you'd like, and 30 seconds to a 20-second handover.
Copy. Definitely not my plan to have the camera bag with me. I can get it off. I need to wait for the TS to come out to get it out from underneath. I'll see if I can just strangle it. Let me knock out the anchor hooks first, so we've got load pass, and then I'll come back to that bag.
We're in an expected handover period between our TDRS, or tracking and data relay satellites, that provide our video and audio communication, one of many communications methods from the ground, with the ground to the space station. Right now, astronaut Rajachari is fully egressed from the Quest airlock. Now we're waiting for EV2, Matthias Maurer, to do the same.
Roger, copy your plan to work the anchor hooks. Your anchor hook goes aft, and Matthias's anchor hook goes forward.
That could work. Okay, and the white hook, anchor hook, labeled 2, which is Matthias's anchor hook, is locked, lock on lock, on the forward airlock view, right? With that, Matthias has a good low pass. We're going to disconnect your release tether, Matthias, from the airlock D-ring center. I'm going to start working on this bag here. Can I untwist it? I'm taking off my left brake tether from the D-ring extend of the airlock.
And Roger, can you report the config of EV1 safety tether?
Yes, so EV1, my EV1 white anchor hook, marked EV1 single, is on the aft D-ring. That's airlock D-ring.
Copy that. And we had a short handover. We may have missed that. Thank you.
Got it, yep. So I can see the camera bag. I think the rent is wrapped around something on my right side, so I'm trying to find what it's wrapped on. And Matthias, my safer hand controller definitely deployed, so that's what was caught on. So,
yes,
oh, I see. That's what that rent was wrapped around. Okay. Can we fix it outside? Why don't we try to get the bag? Can you get the bag inside? And then we can definitely work the safer handle outside.
Yeah.
But I'll just obviously be careful. I can't see what it's attached to back there.
Can you, your left? It's caught exactly below the safer handle. You grab that with your hand and push it like towards your body, forward, left. Towards your body, forward, left. That might clear some safer handle. Otherwise, I need to come out. I'm close to you. Have you yawned for me so that I can reach your safer handle? This is further towards the feet. I think I come outside.
Okay, let me move the aft circular handrail here so you got room. You're clear to come out.
I think I'm trying the same trick like you. But there's something caught on me. Okay, coming out.
The space station has moved into an orbital daytime approaching the southern tip of South America, and we see European Space Agency astronaut Matthias Mauer's feet poking out of the Quest airlock there. The spacewalker in our suit with the red stripes, Roger Tari, egressed moments ago.
That FCU pouch is wedged between your BRTs. If you can push that up in front of you, that should make it. There you go. The twist is hitting the back of the hatch, so if you straighten your legs out. There you go.
Ah, okay. All right. Okay.
All right, let's get clear at each other first and check our tethers are cleared. Not to cause it just to get worse.
Yeah.
And then we can sort out the bag and then the safer handle.
And Roger, Matthias, we concur with that. We like having you egress, get untangled. We'll actually work with the safer handle first, and then we'll do the bag ups.
Okay. I don't know if we can get the handle back in with that bag wrapped around it, though. Because right now I can feel tension
Yeah. And I'm clearing that one at the moment, sir.
Okay.
And Matthias Maurer, our EV2 for the day, is fully egressed from the Quest airlock.
For me to say that the untangling includes the current bag that you're working on now.
Okay, copy.
Okay, so that's all goes back in.
Nicely done, Matthias. All right.
All right, bags out of the way? No, you're safer.
If you need to pause to get your visor down, you can. Go get blinded, or you're good?
I'm good at the moment.
All right. So now,
Do you need to come closer to me?
yep, what I'm trying to do is rotate all this stuff out of the way so I don't interfere with you. And I think I can stabilize my body.
That would be
With
very
my feet
helpful.
facing this way, and then turn my safer handles towards you. Alright. Oh, we're getting a heck of a translation adaptation time here.
So do I need to go around? Oh, no, I need to translate into that hole. I see.
Yeah, if you remember that, it's got the two positions on the pin when you put it back in, so you get it part of the way in, and then you have to seat it the rest of the way. Yeah.
And Roger, Matthias, we have steps for this safer deploy with the hand controller module. Since you have your hands on it, is it a good time for us to give you that?
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, what?
Go ahead.
You have good camera on me?
Yes.
I think I need to switch to my hacker.
We have a big picture external view of both of you.
Okay.
There's
Is the hacker on or off now? It's on. Good, so I'm ready for the steps.
Copy. There's a caution. Be careful not to accidentally bump the power switch. And I believe this one is already taken care of for Roger. He has a local tether down. Manual ISO valve on the handle. Take it port to the left to the closed or up position.
On the left, that's arrival.
Okay, checking. Hold on.
Our spacewalker is now working through a number of post-egress tasks.
Roger, we need it to be up.
Oh, sorry, okay. Okay, it's up now.
And then on the hand controller module, we'd like you to check this configuration, that the power switch is off, OFF.
Our switch is in OFF, and the other switches are in trans and in neutral.
And the mode switch needs to be in rotational and the display blank.
Copy. And I adjusted both rotation and displays in blank.
Copy. Now you can insert the hand control module onto the tray, routing the umbilical. As you remember from training, that routing goes counterclockwise under the hand controller module grip.
Just tell me where you need me to move. Let's see if...
Oh, stay exactly as you are. Oh, I tried to close it, and I remember there was a trick.
Yep, you try to close it part way, and then you have to get it the rest of the way down. Once that pin, once the clevis is halfway engaged with the pin.
And we concur.
Closed. Nicely done. All that translation adaptation complete.
Yeah, I need to orient myself where I am now.
Nice work, gentlemen.
take that left safer handle back to down to rearm the system, correct?
That's affirmed.
Okay, that should work. And then we can get, we'll get your bag and buddy checks here in a second to get all this squared away. So do you want me to climb back in to retrieve the bags? Oh, the RBDM bag? Oh, sorry, I forgot. Yep, we can do that. To make sure we're not tangled in there all the way up here. We're hanging around each other. Okay, I start moving up. This bag should be up to your right. Yeah. Need to rotate and bring my body out. Take your time. We're not in any rush.
Roger, one follow-up from your work with the hand controller module. We would just like to confirm that the manual isolation valve, that handle on the port left side, is down.
It is down, yep.
Copy, thank you.
Put it back down.
Our spacewalker is now doing some closeout tasks at the airlock before they head on their way.
Let me get a little closer to it.
They're making sure that nothing is tangled and that they have the equipment that they need, that their HECAs are on. You may have heard some chatter about them turning on their HECAs. This stands for High Definition Extravehicular Activity Mobility Unit Camera Assembly. In other words, they're high definition cameras that allow us to see from the astronaut's point of view. Speaking of cameras, one of the tasks that they have today is exchanging a camera on the external side of the International Space Station. Looks like Rajachari inadvertently had taken out that bag, but it will not be used right in the beginning of our spacewalk, but will be retrieved later in the spacewalk for use.
Okay, next is my bag. The Papa P4 bundle, which is now attached for my CRT latch hook. And I retrieve the small hook. The small hook on the D-ring extender.
Copy the bag configuration. Roger, you can turn your HECA on. And Matthias, you can also stow the airlock waist tether large hook to the airlock D-ring extender, or as you desire.
Yes, it is. And for EV1, my HECA is on.
Copy, Roger.
The green light.
We're in a brief handover period, and we hope to get our live views of the outside of the International Space Station back soon, where our spacewalkers are getting ready to go on their way.
Between the two safety tether reels, I'll watch it as you come down here.
Our spacewalkers will actually be working pretty independently from one another for the majority of the spacewalk. NASA astronaut Rajachari will be on the robotic arm for almost the entire spacewalk, while EV2, Matthias Maurer, completes different tasks throughout the station's exterior, basically taking a tour of the outside of the space station, going all around the different modules.
And I think my helmet light came off. It did. It was attached by the left Velcro. Jesus, what is that? Okay. Let's see here. Come towards me. Hang on. Let me rotate in a position. Yeah, so put my bag on my DIT. Yeah, stop moving. Yeah, have it on the right? I have it.
And Houston copies EV2 Tekka.
Okay, right now I've got it tapped on with Velcro. I'm going to have to get that more secured in a second. If you want to get your bag so that's not going to drift off. And then I think, well, let's get your bag sorted out, and I'll have you probably lay with your head towards the airlock and towards me, and I can see if I can reattach it. Just actually, I'm going to hold your bag. I got very slowly towards me because it's held on my Velcro right now. Your head towards the airlock and towards me, and I can see if I can reattach it. Try to get in the better body position here. Not working. Velcro right now. Okay. Your head towards the airlock and towards me, and I can see if I can reattach it. Try to get in the better body position here. Not working. Velcro right now. Okay. Your head towards the airlock and towards me, and I can see if I can reattach it. Try to get in the better body position here. Not working. Velcro right now. Okay. Your head towards the airlock and towards me, and I can try to get in the better body position here. Not working. As long as it's not tangled, or is it Velcro right now? It is. With my head towards the airlock towards me, and I can try to get in the better body position. Think it's your waist starter, actually. As long as it's not tangled for now, or is it Velcro right now? Not worried about it. With my head towards the airlock towards me, and I can try to get in the better body position. Think it's your waist starter, actually. As long as it's not tangled for now, or is it Velcro right now? Not worried about it. With my head towards the airlock towards me, and I can try to get in the better body position. Think it's your as long as it's not tangled towards B, so you're looking up into the hatch. All right.
And we're back with a live look of one of the many external cameras on the exterior of the International Space Station, looking at the outside of the Quest airlock.
Okay, so what I'm going to have you do is find a body position that you can hold. I'm going to see if first I can try to re-engage them. All right? Holding. I'm about to move around a bit here.
And Roger Matthias, there is also a crib sheet for this operation.
Okay. Yep. Happy to listen.
Yep. And you guys are doing the right thing, minimizing motion and making Matthias as stable and rigid as he can be. For I believe one Velcro strap has come loose.
Yep.
So you're going to try to...
The right is loose. The
right is loose. You're going to try to reroute that strap between the HUT plus interface, attaching the Velcro strap to the HUT TMG side first.
Okay. Are you stable enough, Matthias, that I can actually crawl on your back? Yeah, absolutely. You to try to put on? I am stable. I'm holding on to you. Yep, go for it. Okay, the right Velcro is re-engaged. So both Velcro straps are on. Now I need to see if we can try to engage, or actually, it's not over to you for the next step, but I assume I'm going to try to re-engage the actual locks on the helmet. Or come up with a wire tie solution.
Checking.
Okay, left and right Velcro is engaged. I'm going to translate on you again, Matthias, and see if I can find the box. I mess with this anymore. I'm also thinking maybe I should find something to ret to on those helmets. So if it does come off, while I'm trying to reattach it, they don't lose it.
And Roger, Matthias, we're continuing to talk about it also. We like how you've routed the strap. What we propose is that you close the thermal cover, continue with buddy checks while we discuss any further work on the helmet camera.
Looks like the magnet's holding it closed. Yep, closed.
Our astronauts are now working to close the hatch thermal cover.
All right, buddy. All right, I'll start on you. I can see.
Coming up soon, they'll perform a series of buddy checks, checking out each other's spacesuits and making sure all is well.
1, 2. If you yaw body left, I can see your other tab. 1, 2, 3 tabs up, and both your safer handles are down. Copy. At least that is good news. And your crew lock bag is behind you, down by your left eye, so it looks like it's a good config. I see your tether pack running up to the forward left E-ring. Your tether pack is here, straight up, close, black on black. But right now your waist tether runs up through your tether pack, but as soon as you disconnect that, you should be good. Once you get that down, I can work on your other waist tether. Okay. Now, your other waist tether, like you mentioned before, is wrapped around the knuckle of your BRT. So if you take your left waist tether anchor hook off your mini workstation.
You're getting a view now of the tethers that our spacewalkers Rajachari and Matthias Maurer are discussing.
Yeah, that one. And then run it under your BRT and back to you. There you go. Now you're good. All right. All right. You're looking ready for a spacewalk other than helmet lights. Okay. Are you ready for check? Tell me where you need me to move. I see the green helmet light.
Great view of NASA astronaut Rajachari now, who you see in the red stripes with the Earth below. Chari is assisting Matthias Maurer to make sure that his tethers are configured correctly.
2, and if you yaw a little bit, the 3 mini workstation tabs are up. Safer handles are both down now. And the crew lock back bundle is nicely on your left, and I think you can easily manage it. Your safety tether, I see that your ED1 crew hook is safely attached to the aft E-ring on the airlock. It's real 23 is unlocked, and I see that. Can you show me your small hook? It's locked. Yeah, it's locked, and it's in the E-ring extender. And your other safety tethers are routed on the right and clear. Copy, thank you. There is one small red, which is on your PGT, which is locked out. You might unlock it so that you don't snag it. Thank you. All right. Take that body check complete. I have for a baseline half check. It is dry. My gloves do not have any new smudges on them from when we started. And the same for ED2. My hat is dry and my gloves look pristine, like from when we started. Alright, and stand by for the helmet. I would minimize your movement for now, Matthias, because those are just held on by Velcro.
Roger, Matthias, copy all. And
we are ready.
Good buddy checks and copy your HAP and baseline gloves. We're still discussing the HECA.
Copy. Trying to see what might be a good position for me to work on this. I'm thinking stay on the handrail here. I get behind you in between the wagon wheel. Back here I might be able to get some, wedge myself in there enough to work on it. Good catch on your part, they came off. That was good. I'm this way a little bit more, and I'll see if I can see the latch mechanism back there. And Kill, I'll defer to you. Obviously, you guys have the grip sheet. One idea is I can ret to this cable that I'm pointing at with my left hand, and then try to work it back out the latches, and that way if I miss, at least I get a ret to it. But we'll stand by for your words.
And Roger, Matthias, we're still talking about it, but what we're thinking is using a wire tie to keep Matthias's, to better secure Matthias's helmet camera. But we're still discussing. Stand by, please.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
You just heard Ground IV Stephanie Wilson relay to the crew that they're working on a fix for Matthias's helmet camera.
Your assessment, do you think using a wire tie is something that you can perform?
I can, but what am I wire tying it to? Like the visor knob or something like that? So I can look for something I would attach it to.
And we have some initial thoughts, but let me get the final plan.
Okay. All right, just adjust my BRT here while we have some time. You want me? Oh, no, it's not. It's all just putting it higher up on my body so I can get to it later.
Roger, Matthias, we're still discussing. We do have some steps that we're pulling together. We appreciate your patience. You can hang out for a bit and perhaps get some good photography.
Sounds good. Yeah.
What the crew is working through now is a camera and helmet light assembly that just doesn't want to stay secured into place. The ground right now is working a solution, possibly using some wire ties, but still talking amongst themselves on a solution. basically they just don't want to interfere with the spacesuits or the ability for the spacewalkers' life support units to get in the way or anything to be compromised there. But as soon as we have a fix, our spacewalkers will be on their way to the work site. You're getting a live view of the Quest airlock with two spacewalkers, Rajachari in the spacesuit with the red stripes. You can see his legs poking out there. And European Space Agency astronaut Matthias Maurer. They began their spacewalk and are getting ready to go out to their work site. But first, the crew here on the ground is working on a solution to Matthias Maurer's camera and helmet light assembly, kind of keeping it in place before they head off.
This is Brazil below. Yes, I think so. Could be.
Roger, Matthias, just checking in. We're still working it. The plan is coming together. I should be back with you shortly.
Copy that.
A solution to the loose camera and helmet light assembly, part of the helmet section of the spacesuit for Matthias Maurer is in work with the ground crew here. Our next step is to hear from our ground IV, basically the Capcom of a spacewalk. NASA astronaut Stephanie Wilson is expected to give some words to the crew once they're ready.
Roger, Matthias, the plan has come together. Thank you for your patience. So what I'd like to do is kind of read the steps as a big picture, get your comments and assessment, and then we can step through it. And the plan includes using 2 long wire ties, Roger, from your BRT. So you're going to use those wire ties to secure to the safer towers. You'd wrap one end of the wire tie around the right E-hip gimbal while Matthias attempts to hold the EMU-TV E-hip assembly onto his helmet. The tie down should minimize impingement into the thruster areas, and the preference is to route around the vertical safer tower to minimize the possibility of the wire tie sliding toward the thrusters. Then you'll wrap the open end of the wire tie around the safer tower.
So, read that back to Earth. I think you said, I'm basically taking a long wire tie and going around the gimbal and then down to the safer tower. And I didn't explain the thing you're talking about, the vertical part of the tower.
Right. And the safer tower, it's kind of it's an upside-down L. So you'll be wrapping the other end of the wire tie around the horizontal portion and keeping it clear of any thrusters.
Okay, I think I did that. So almost following the same routing as the Velcro, essentially.
Yeah, that's correct.
I would just concur, yeah. Okay. All right, I will start putting that in work. I'll work on his right side first, and once you find whatever a stable position is for you, that I can kind of push you around and you won't move. Yeah, I have a stable position. Okay. And I'll try to anchor myself. So I'm going to kind of use you to translate on them, or to brace myself as I'm doing this. Yep.
Ground IV Stephanie Wilson just communicated the plan that our EVA team here on the ground came up with. Essentially, astronaut Rajachari is going to use one of the wire ties on his body restraint tether, one of the tethers keeping him to the International Space Station. It was decided that these wire ties will not be used throughout the space station, so they're available to use on Matthias Maurer's camera and helmet light assembly. He'll be attaching it to part of the safer unit, making sure to be careful of not interfering with the safer unit's ability to safely get Matthias Maurer back to the space station in the event of an emergency. You're getting a live view of Mission Control in Houston, now the International Space Station's flight control room, where flight controllers are talking amongst themselves on a solution to the camera and helmet light assembly. They've gotten instructions for NASA astronaut Rajachari on how to secure that into place, and are just making sure that the path is correct and agreed upon by everyone in the room. Once this solution has been worked.
I think where you're talking about, I've got retwisted. What I'm trying to do is use the ret hook, put more twists into it to essentially tighten this down more.
When a solution has been worked, NASA astronaut Rajachari will work to configure the robotic arm and ride it out to the radiator beam valve module while Matthias Maurer routes an Ethernet cable.
Well, I guess one caution with this, Matthias, is you probably won't be able to, like, manipulate the aiming of your lights. You'll just have to be careful when you're up there. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
If you could aim it, I think, if you could aim it already now?
Yeah, hold on. Sorry, I'm pulling you around here. Yeah, we're all done with this. We'll have to check our safety tethers again, because I'm hanging all over your back here trying to bond you.
All right, see what
Stand by, let me get a camera view on that so they can see it. Yeah. Do you have KU back, Stephanie?
Roger, we do not, and we're also about 2 minutes from a teacher's S-band handover.
Good. I would kind of like you to see this before I do the other side, and just so I'm not wasting time. Not what you're imagining. I'll hold here then until you get a view.
Copy that. We'll let you know.
Your helmet lights, Matthias, on that right side look like they're in line and like properly positioned. But the left side will have to change a little bit, but I think the right side looks good.
Yeah. What you could do is like you could flatten these the wire tie so that it's like less of an obstacle when I move around.
Oh yeah, good point. Yeah, let me try to tuck it in on top of the stage.
And Roger, Matthias, also for your essay, we're about 11 minutes tonight.
Copy, all. I think that body position worked pretty well, so what I'm thinking is maybe I could go side to the aft side and I'd go to the forward side for the next one. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I could also just yaw around.
Oh, okay, yeah, that might work, yep. Trying to think.
But you want me to
I don't have the handrail on this side, doesn't go all the way around, but we'll try it. Let's like get the camera view and have you yaw, see if that works. That'd be the easiest thing. But hold on until they get to see this view. Okay. Well, if we had gray tape out here, I could really fix it. Yeah, cover your helmet, gray tape.
We're waiting for our live views of the International Space Station to come back as we hand off between satellites. Once we get our live view back, the folks here in Mission Control will evaluate Rajachari's work, securing the lights and camera assembly. And it looks like we're getting our live views back now.
Roger, Matthias, we're back with you on KU.
Okay, let me get position 2. Not exactly sure what you see on the back of it. Hopefully you can see that.
Assessing.
You need to aim.
Roger, nice work. We like what we see on that side. So if you can repeat it on the other side, that'd be great.
Good try. If you're able before you swing all the way around, yep, you're fine. I'm going to work on getting the rat while you swing, so take your time. No rush. Just be aware you're
With their visuals back, it looks like the ground here just confirmed with NASA astronaut Rajachari that the camera and helmet light assembly on Matthias Maurer's spacesuit looks good to them. We're now 1 hour into the spacewalk. Since the crew has spent considerable time working on Matthias Mauer's camera and helmet light attached to his helmet there, the crew here on the ground is now discussing what procedures we'll be able to get to today. Of course, the priority of today's tasks is the radiator beam valve module. It was not expected to take the whole spacewalk, so now they're discussing what other maintenance tasks that were planned we'll still have time for.
All right, once more, I'm going to use you as a translation aid here. Be a little closer this time. Hey, lap strap practice. Yes. All right.
Did you like it to your mini workstation?
No, you're fine. Okay. Okay. On you again.
You are.
And then to get around this Dexter Tower.
Then I need to let you go.
Actually, if you can hold me in this position. That body position.
Good.
I'm going to move a little closer to you now. Got it routed. I'm just trying to get the wire tie. Good now. Tip you around here. Hold on, let me lock out this red. I can get it.
So to recap today's events, our spacewalkers today switched their suits to internal battery power at 7:32 a.m. Central Time. When they exited the hatch, Matthias Maurer had trouble keeping his helmet camera and light firmly attached to the spacesuit. The spacewalk team here on the ground came up with a solution for Raj Acharya to use one of his wire ties on one of the tethers of his spacesuit to secure it into place. So even though the Matthias is experiencing a problem with his spacesuit, the crew is in good health. This has nothing to do with our astronaut. They're both completely fine. We just need to secure the helmet into place, as well as the light.
I had it, but slipped off, so I'll put it again back to the thruster tower. Repositioning here. Just stay where you're at. If you want to let go of my MWS and stabilize yourself. All right, guys, go. Yeah, no, let go of my MWS and stabilize your body. We'll try to use again. I think this is work better. Okay, there's 3 twists. Now I'm going to start tightening it with the ret. Stay where you are. Can you grab it? Stabilize your body again, please. All right. Okay, Houston, you can see the routing for that one. I don't know if you're happy with that.
Very good. Okay, great.
Roger, nice work. We are happy with that routing. And big picture, now that we have completed that work, we're going to reset as you could think of it. I'll get a glove and hap check from you. We'll start the initial tasks for this EVA as we have planned and as are written, and we'll assess as we go the task at the end. I heard your reference earlier to gray tape. I like that. That does fix all, as does teamwork. You guys did a nice job working together and working through this, and we're here with you, and we will get the task accomplished for this EVA. Nice work.
Thanks, Killer. Thank you. Let's clean up our tethers and stuff, as I know we crossed a few times there, Matthias, trying to translate on one another. So take your time, and then we'll get buddy checks once we are happy with our config.
And we're now able to see the helmet camera views of both of our spacewalking astronauts today. Rajachari on the left, who's our EV1, and Matthias Maurer on the right as EV2.
Okay, I verified my anchor hook. It's closed, black on black. Safety wheel unlocked. Both of them. My yellow hook is attached to the green wheel. Box, they're closed, black on black. And the anchor hook on my suit is also they're closed, black on black. So I have a straight load now.
Now that Matthias Maurer has his camera and helmet light fully secured and is not interfering with his safer unit in any way, they're going to go on as if they just got out the door. We are about an hour and 12 minutes into our spacewalk here today, just beginning our tasks now. They're going to do buddy checks right now and tether checks now.
call that's going to your left D-ring. I can see your bundle on the left side. Looks pretty secure and back out of your way.
After their buddy checks conclude, they'll make their way to their first work site.
End effector down, and once that moves, you'll be good on tethers. In terms of mine, I see my anchor hook marked EV1 single on the aft D-ring, and it's locked around that direction. Get from there, still locked. Okay, now there it is. Gate closed, locked, black on black. The wheel is unlocked, going to my left D-ring. Extender, it is gate closed, black on black, and it's the red and white weather pole number 1. And my right base tether pack is attached to the main workstation, and the right D-ring extender, that's for dropping later. And if you can check my log carriage, I see I got swung around quite a bit when I was crawling on you, I think. Yeah, we try to reconfigure that before we start translating.
One latch of the door open.
You're getting a good view now of NASA astronaut Raj Atari. You can tell because he's got the red stripes on his legs. In just a moment, you should be able to see 2 bright lights shining out from his helmet. Those are the lights that we were fixing on the camera of Matthias Maurer's helmet, you're looking at his point of view now.
Clean. All right, so let me have a body check on you. I see header light on, WVS light is on. I see like 4 lights on, lights. I see mini workstation tapped. 1, 2, 3, 4. The VIP one, our lab. That's good. Straighter handles are both down. If you order it to my side, yes, they're both down. And the safety tether configuration you reported, so you look in the good shape for me.
All right. I think with that, Killer, if you're ready, we'll have Matthias start heading up the Cedarburg.
Nice work. Good checks. We are ready for Matthias to start his translation up the Cedarburg.
That's good. And let me know once you're up top and headed forward.
Yeah, I take it slowly.
Yep, absolutely.
Sounds great. And when you get to phase 1, there's a caution, avoid contact with deployed test cable.
My old friend.
Old buddy, old friend.
Tell it high for me, Matthias.
We have the Cedarburg.
Your tether pack looks good. Down between your legs.
Okay. And I'm on the seater rail. And walking towards.
Let's see you going forward and wait for your tether to pull a little tauter, then I'll start heading up.
Yeah.
The first stop for our spacewalkers is the Crew Equipment Translation Aid Cart, or CETA cart, where Matthias Maurer is going to be headed. The CETA cart is an aid to the spacewalkers and a spot where the spacewalkers can attach equipment when they need to stow something. Maurer will stow his tool bag to the CETA cart, while Raj Atari follows the same path shortly after and retrieves a portable foot restraint from the same CETA cart. This portable foot restraint attaches to the station's robotic arm, so the arm can move Chari to various work sites today.
About CETA cart.
I'm on the Cedar Spur.
Copy, Roger.
And turn a little sideways here so I keep an eye on Matthias's tether as I come up.
Our spacewalkers have now left the airlock and are making their way to the Cedar cart.
Past the mobile transporter.
Copy, Matthias.
Coming up on the port Cedar cart. That's where I need to temp stow my luggage.
That's correct. You'll stow the bag bundle with the external adjustable and the crew lock bag adjustable.
Work. The drop. Local. Thank you.
Okay, I'm at the top of the Cedar Spur. I see your tether down below me, and I see my tether on top of yours.
And you're getting a view of the Cedar cart now.
That's good.
Roger. Kayla and Tom are with you. No rush, but when you're ready, we are go for your safety tether swap and APFR install and ingress.
Copy.
You just heard the voice of NASA astronaut Tom Marshburn. You saw him earlier in our coverage helping our spacewalkers into their spacesuits today. Now he and Kayla Barron have moved to the robotic arm operations area. They'll be taking turns flying Rajatari on the robotic arm today.
And then when you're happy with the bag stowage, you'll retrieve the wire tie caddy from the P4 crew lock bag and stow it on your mini workstation.
I will drop down. Oh. The Southwest bag is on hotel, and the P4 bag is on golf, and I will retrieve the wire tie, cabin.
And at the
Copy, Matthias.
Cedar cart.
And copy, Roger. We see you en route to the FHRC to temp stow the RBVM crew lock bag.
I'm trying to keep Matthias's tether out in front of me. I get on the other side here, Matthias. Before you go later, I may have you check just to make sure I haven't entangled your tether.
Yes, I will be moving out in a second. There's both bags on my BRT, taking them off. I verify both are safely secured. Take off the BRT rack.
I'm at the MT. Tally your tether, tally the test cable. Your tether is on the snag on my crew lock bag. Now to your left, Matthias, but do not rush. Yep, plenty of time. I've got my eyes on your tether now, so we're deconflicted.
Taking off my locus, and I will be moving Venus from here. Port and then Venus.
Matthias, next is your green hook, stowing that on handrail 3651.
Be up. Matthias at 3651.
Hold on, Matthias, hold on. Don't come down yet. Your tether's wrapped up on me. You get our local picked up and they'll push your tether below it and then move again. If it's trapped right now, hold on a second. Matthias?
Yeah, hold on. I see it.
Yeah. Okay. Can you tell me if I'm clear of yours?
You're clear. Yes, you're clear.
Okay.
Stay high.
Copy, yep. I'm coming up under the NC to the port seat of the cart now, so I'll stay high.
I will stay low. Going with my locus. And EV2 green hook on 3651. I check the wheels are both unlocked.
Copy, Matthias.
And as far as I can see, my safety tether is clear, but it's below your left foot, driver.
Okay. So clear though?
It's clear, Huh? Maybe I should move it to the lower extension. Good idea.
Matthias, when Raj is ready for you to move, next will be your translation on the P1 Nader handrail path towards the CP8 rail bag.
And you're clear to keep moving, Matthias. I'm above you now, and I think our tethers are clear. I can see mine. I can't see yours, but I think that's because it's got Nader with you.
Is this just for me, maybe? Outboard, maybe. Outboard, maybe.
And Matthias, there are two cautions as you translate that way. Do not translate on the radiator beam and avoid cyclic loading, and avoid kicking the radiator beam. If any contact, wait 2 to 5 minutes to allow for structural response to dissipate.
Okay.
Hey, I'm at the FHRC, Stephanie. I'm going to work on stowing the RBBM bag.
Copy that.
Chari just confirmed that he has the tools that he'll need for the radiator beam valve module work site. First, he's got to get his portable foot restraint installed to the robotic arm, where then he'll then mount the arm and be moved to the work site. Meanwhile, Matthias Marr, leaving the CETA cart, he'll grab some wire ties from one of the bags and go retrieve a reel of cables that is on the outside of the International Space Station. He'll use these supplies and start routing an Ethernet cable on his way to the camera Port 8 work site. He'll follow a path of handrails to help him guide the cables. Later in the spacewalk, they'll work to replace a camera. Routing this Ethernet cable ahead of time will save some time later on.
And then stow the wire tie caddy in the pouch of the reel bag.
Work.
You're getting a view now of the station's robotic arm that Rajachari will have his feet connected to later on.
Killer, the RBVM bag is tethered via AET to the FHRC handrail. I'm going to start working on getting my safety tether pack onto the SS service lead point.
Copy that. Nice work, Raja.
And Killer EV1, I've got my EV1 pack, white hook, locked, gate closed, black on black on the tether point.
Copy that.
This is my right waist D-ray extender, red hook, through hook, and then it's gate closed, lock, black on black. Going back to do the tether swap and pick up the APFR.
Copy that. That's a good plan.
You just heard Rajachari speaking with the ground, talking about configuring his tethers to prepare him to get onto the station's robotic arm when he's ready. You're getting a live view now of Matthias Maurer. He's routing an Ethernet cable that will support a camera once they install it later on in the spacewalk.
And Matthias is at 3636 and attaching the first wire tie.
We copy Matthias, and we have a great view.
36. Actually, 36, 37. You want me to go to the 36, 30?
And
Go to 36, 36, which is close to the radiator, or the 36, 37? I believe it's the 36, yeah? You want to be to the outside, I understand. So I correct?
And Matthias, there's a couple of cable routes. You should be on the nadir aft side. So we're expecting the series 3636 and 3670.
will be all, and I just corrected on a 3636.
Copy that. Thank you.
Our ground IV Stephanie Wilson just confirmed with ESA astronaut Matthias Marr that what he's doing is indeed correct. He's routing cables to camera port 8 by way of handrails. So right now he just installed the first of the Ethernet cables, attaching it to a handrail, and is going in the correct direction on his way to the second. You're getting a view now of Marr inching along, using wire ties to connect the Ethernet cable to those handrails. He'll follow along a path to the work site, and when he's finished, retrace his steps back to the CETA cart.
23 is unlocked and runs up the starboard side of the port CETA cart, and I have it on the handrail. I can't see the number on it, but it's the handrail stamps are next to Grid Bravo. Should hopefully keep it tucked up out of Matthias's way until I come back to get it later.
And we copy handrail stanchion next to a Grid Bravo. That works for us.
Working on getting the APFR.
And next is to retrieve the APFR from the port CETA cart, stow that on your BRT, and as you prefer, you can adjust the pitch setting with it installed on the cart or once you have it on your BRT.
Okay, go ahead and get it now.
Okay, you're looking for a pitch of Papa Papa.
Oh, this pitch now is way easier than the last APFR on the last EVA.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Okay, Papa Papa is set.
Copy Papa Papa.
Have to get the other settings while I'm here.
All right, it'll be Foxtrot 6.
Foxtrot 6. Android 3670.
Copy 3670.
You just saw the number 3670 peeking out from one of the handrails. This means that Matthias Marr is right on track and has been routing the Ethernet cable along the handrails correctly, and he's now on his second.
Okay, those settings are in. Working on getting the BRT set up to take it out.
Copy.
We just switched over to the live view of NASA astronaut Raj Achari. That behind him is the robotic arm that he'll be attached to shortly. Right now he's working on configuring his tethers and will shortly be installing the portable foot restraint.
And Matthias at 3686.
Copy, you've got 3686 in work.
Back now at the CETA cart of the International Space Station, where NASA astronaut Raj Achari's got his hands on the portable foot restraint, be used to attach the spacesuit to the robotic arm to get to the work site.
Sorry. Yeah. BRT, rest the ATFR, stood on my BRT. How are you doing, Matthias?
I'm at 3810 and going now in it. That is?
And Matthias, for your translation, you would continue aft. You're looking next for handrail P3, handrail 3809.
So I'm not going up P3, like I'm now at 601. Isn't that the point where I follow the cable upward? Because Venus.
And checking.
Yeah, it's the next one I have in front of my eyes is 3809.
And we copy, we see that. We believe the previous one you put down might make the routing a little bit short. We believe you placed one at 3810, and we'd like you to undo that if so.
Okay. The routing should, however, be the same, no? Go around that corner here. You have a good view on it? Otherwise, it will have radiator interference.
We do have a good view. We're checking. Matthias, we're discussing. We do see the concern with it going across that gap, but we think if you simply secure it to 3809 and tend it around the gap, that should be good. and we're discussing. Stand by. We've been admiring your handiwork with the wire ties. So stand by while we discuss it.
Astronaut Stephanie Wilson serving as our ground IV today, just communicating with Matthias Marr. It looks like he had attached the Ethernet cable that he's routing to an incorrect handrail, and that there was a better one that they had in mind originally. However, the ground crew is communicating now to see if the path that he had originally set was actually okay, and if we'll have enough wire to get to the work site.
The corner, if you can take up the slack so that it's taut around the corner when you place the wire tie at 3809.
Like this?
We have a better view now, and that looks better. Thank you.
Okay. So, I understand I can proceed. In case you need more slack, this would be a candidate to come back and release it.
And we like your plan.
All right, the APFR is installed 12, Papa, Fox, 6, black on black. Good full twist test.
Copy all, and the pitch knob is locked and can be depressed?
Is locked. Again, out and move locked.
Copy that. Nice work with the APFR. You can go back and retrieve the RBVM crew lock bag and stow it on your BRT.
Copy. It worked.
You just heard the ground talk to Roger Chari about the APFR, the articulating portable foot restraint. It looks like Chari's got it installed onto the robotic arm and has now been instructed to get his tool bag so he can go off to the RBVM work site. Meanwhile, Matthias Marr is working to route an Ethernet cable. He's doing that in support of a later task in the spacewalk to install a wireless access port capable HD camera. This is a camera that's mounted to the outside of the space station. We've been upgrading the cameras as we've gone, the last two being installed in January of 2021.
BRT got wrapped around my camera here, so I'm just working on untangling that here before I attach it to the crew lock bag.
Copy that. No hurry.
While our space rockers go on with their tasks, Rajachari connecting the portable foot restraint to the robotic arm, and Matthias Marr routing some Ethernet cables, I thought we could take some Ask NASA questions. Again, if you have a question about our operations today, be sure to head over to Twitter and use hashtag AskNASA to submit your question. I have one from Bob here on Twitter who's asking, did the ammonia's hose cause a problem during the spacewalk? So no, it didn't cause a problem during a spacewalk, but we found that the ammonia was leaking from one of the hoses. So that radiator had to be turned off because the hoses were removed in a spacewalk in 2018. So that all went well, and the hose was brought back to the ground and refurbished and sent back up. But in the meantime, the radiator had to be turned off. Fortunately, the space station has 6 radiators, so it was still able to cool the space station down. Again, kind of like the radiator of your car works to cool down your engine. So we had 5 other ones fully functional, and then replacing the hoses today just improves our capability for that.
Copy, Matthias, 3807.
What module is that, just for my essay? It's P3. Copy, thanks. With the radiator.
Roger, we see you preparing for ingress. One double check on the safety tether pack that's on the arm. Can you verify that the reel is unlocked? I believe I heard you call that, but please verify the reel is unlocked.
Yep, they're both unlocked.
Copy, thank you.
The space station is now in an orbital daytime, flying over the South Pacific Ocean. You can see astronaut Rajachari egressing or getting aboard the Canadarm2, also known as the space station's robotics arm now. He'll be working to get into the portable foot restraint, which is what will attach him to the arm. NASA astronauts Tom Marshburn and Kayla Barron will be inside of the space station at the controls.
ISS 3805, and here I need to install the wire tie. Right, Tom, I'm ready to go to the RBVM back-off position. I've got my tethers picked up from the ISS side, buckle on the ingress handle, and my lock bag clear.
We copy. We copy. Go for the maneuver to RBVM back-off.
And the maneuver is about to begin. With a go from our flight director here, Raj Achari is good to move to the work site at the controls of Kayla Barron and Tom Marshburn.
EV2 just lost the wire tie with the old classic. I was pulled it out of the red and kept the finger on the red button. Sorry about that.
Roger, we're starting motion, 4 meters, station forward. Copy.
Matthias, we copy. If you were able to tell, could you estimate a speed and direction?
It's going straight in idea. And speed, I would say like, it was maybe half a meter per minute. A bit faster. Maybe 2-3 meters per minute. But straight in idea.
And we copy.
Roger, half meter to go.
As we wait to see motion on the robotic arm with Rajachari on board. Meanwhile, on another part of the International Space Station, astronaut Matthias Marr is about 3 wire ties away from completing his task. As soon as he's done, he'll begin to...
Matthias, for your departure rate, was that half a meter per second?
Yeah, that's probably about right. Half a meter per second.
Once Matthias Marr is done with his task, he will retrace his steps across the handrails back to the CETA cart where they began.
Roger, stand by as we set up for the first of 3 JOCASs.
Copy. 3 JOCASs. Stand by. And I actually have a visual on you, Matthias, so I see where you're at. Okay.
Roger, we're starting motion, 7 meters, station zenith. Your head will be facing starboard and zenith. When we're done, we're in course rates.
Copy. I've got my destination in sight.
And he's off. Robotic arm operator Tom Marshburn just confirmed with Rajachari that he is in motion.
Over your left shoulder.
Over my left shoulder. Oh, yes. Look at you. You got the transport. Flight time would be 3804.
Copy, 3804. And we're excited that Raja is having a chance to fly the smooth and friendly skies of Kayla and Tom.
Absolutely. Way better than business class.
Chari is now on the robotic arm in flight to his workstation today. Just crossed over the southern tip of Argentina as he had a second to take a break and enjoy the ride.
Roger, while you're on the arm, there's a few get-ahead steps that you can perform, retrieving the GoPro from the crew lock bag and powering it on. You can verify the light is blinking and stow it on your mini workstation facing out.
And Roger, we are starting motion, 8 meters aft, 3 meters nadir. You'll be facing the truss.
Copy. You said I can go ahead and turn it on, Stephanie, now, so it runs?
That's affirmed.
The Canadarm2 is still in motion with Chari on board. He's doing a couple of get-ahead tasks like powering on a GoPro that he brought with him. Provides the ground the opportunity to get an astronaut's view of what they'll be working on today. Meanwhile, Matthias Marr is working on to install the Ethernet cable to the last handrail. As soon as he's done with that, he'll retrace his steps and head back to the CETA cart, where more equipment awaits him.
I can see the UHF antenna, I'm clear of that. GoPro's on. I'm getting the cap keeper out as well. I think what I saw Sonny do is do a super MWSM detector, so I'll try that.
Roger, your last